Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Show 2016 Edelmetallmesse here in Munich. And we want to talk now to a very famous and high quality and successful silver producer out of Mexico, Endeavour Silver, the actually 8th, 9th largest silver producer in the world. And Bradford Cooke, the CEO and founder, is here with me. Bradford, good morning.
Good morning, Jochen.
Pleasure to have you here as always.
Lovely.
And honestly, first of all, congratulations to your sensational numbers yesterday night.
Yes, we released our third quarter financial results. They're very good.
Yeah, I think the stock jumped already like 7 or 8% yesterday, right?
Yes, it had a good move based on the fact that we have been reducing our costs, and then when the metal prices went up, all of a sudden the profit margin has jumped.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it was our EBITDA climbed some 700%.
Whoops. That's a lot. So where are the AISC costs, or let's say the all-in cost now for all mines as an average?
In the third quarter, they were approximately $11 US per ounce of silver produced. And of course, in the third quarter, the price of silver was averaging about $19. So a real margin after tax of about $8 an ounce. We're making lots of money at this time.
That's very, very healthy, I would say, absolutely. So how was the production overall in the third quarter?
Production was steady. The two of the three mines were ahead of plan, one mine slightly behind plan. The company as a whole is well ahead of its plan for the year on both production and costs.
Fantastic. When you say like $11, $11.50 all-in cost, that must mean that El Cubo is doing very well, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
Because it was super high cost when you bought it. It was a nightmare, honestly, to me, when I saw it. But I think you did a tremendous job there, right?
Well, when we purchased El Cubo in 2012, it was to turn the mine around from being a very high-cost, money-losing mine to a low-cost, profitable mine. And while it took a little longer than we had forecasted, I'm pleased to say that turnaround is now finished, and El Cubo is making very nice free cash flow.
Yeah, perfect. Also, you have like over $83 million now in the bank, and you did 2 ATMs in the last 12 months. So I mean, you have enough cash in the bank to move forward to develop your new projects. Maybe elaborate a bit. What is the near-term future? Because Terronera, Paral, El Compass. So what's coming up then? What is the next mine going in production and when?
Sure. So just a comment on our cash through. Adding cash to the balance sheet from the operations, plus the equity raise that we did earlier this year, as you pointed out, we now have $83 million in cash, $92 million of working capital at the end of the third quarter. So we're cashed up for growth. And clearly when the metal prices started to move, we wanted to start thinking as management, what can we do to create value for the stockholders? Well, we hadn't built a new mine in a long time. So now, thanks to our aggressive merger and acquisition strategy, we've acquired 2 new projects this year and found a third. So we have 3 new mines that we're proposing to build in the next 3 years.
Great, and what will be the next one, definitely?
So first up is a small mine called El Compass, and it's a very quick 9 months and less than $10 million to production. The reason
less than 10 million?
Oh, yes.
That's nothing.
It's nothing. But the reason is that it's a return to the traditional Endeavour business model of buying mines in historic districts that are already permitted and plants that are already built. So that really the opportunity for us was just to bring the money and the expertise needed to develop the mine and fill the plant. The previous owner didn't have any cash. So we have the cash to go ahead and put Compass into production next year.
Next year already. And when can we expect Terronera?
This very exciting new discovery, perhaps the most exciting new high-grade silver find in Mexico in the last 10 years.
You had sensational grades, haven't you, in the last months?
The average grade of the Terronera ore body is around 400 grams of silver equivalents per ton. This is a very high grade. And this is, 13 ounces per ton.
That's a lot.
We can make a lot of money on grades like that. So, given that Terronera is an emerging new high-grade find and it's still open for expansion, we started into a pre-feasibility study with the concept of a 2-stage construction in order to build a base case mine producing 4 million ounces a year and an expansion case mine producing 8 million ounces a year.
With that only one mine?
Well, just the one mine.
Because you now had like 8 million
Well,
ounces.
we're producing 10 million ounces of equivalents this year.
That would even double nearly the
Terronera alone will help to
production.
fulfill. Our 5-year business plan is to double the production to 20 million ounces per year and reduce our costs. In other words, the new mines will be lower cost than the old mines. So
fantastic.
Terronera, El Compass, and Peral will help us to achieve that goal.
Great. And also when you say to achieve goals, I think one of the, I wouldn't say critic points, but sometimes you hear it from people when you're walking here through the exhibition. They say, yeah, Endeavour, top company, but maybe the mine life 4 or 5 years all the time. It's quite short. How would you rate then the chance that you can extend the mine life overall?
It's very much a function of money and drilling and expertise.
Yeah.
You know, when we started at each mine, we had no reserves. We had 0 mine life at each mine.
Yeah, and
zero
you do this
mine
now
life.
12 years?
And we've been working now, we've been producing at Guanaceví for 12 years with no mine life.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we found a mine life. We found 7 ore bodies. And even today, Guanaceví has several years of reserve and resource life ahead of it. And we're still testing new targets. So we love the long-term potential at Guanaceví, and yes, by drilling new targets, we're going to extend the mine lives at each of the 3 mines.
Okay, great. Can you maybe give us an idea to what extent, it's pure speculation, I know, but is there a chance that you can say, like, overall, you are moving from 4 years maybe to 7 or 8 years mine life then?
So each mine has a different life, of course. Guanaceví has perhaps the longest at somewhere around 6 or 7 years. Bolañitos has the shortest at about 2 years. Cubo is in between. But by increasing our exploration and capital budgets this year and next year, clearly the results of our drilling, we hope, will be to find new ore bodies, extensions of old ore bodies, and expand the resources and therefore the mine lives. That's the thing that we've been doing for years.
Okay, super. Important question as a shareholder. Is there then a chance to see a dividend?
Yes, but you know, when we ask ourselves that, it's always in the context of how can we best use the shareholders' money. And we've been such a strong growth company. I think let's be patient another 2, perhaps 3 years, and then we'll be in a position to be looking at a very nice dividend.
Super. That's a great final sentence, Bradford. Thank you very much for that. I keep fingers crossed. I'm totally confident that you guys make it with the team, because you have delivered the last 12, 13 years tremendous growth and success in the company. And as we just had a happy shareholder here on the booth, who bought quite cheap, and that's exactly how we want it.
Well, you know, we do have a track record for delivering what we promise.
Exactly.
And we're now targeting to grow the company 100% in the next 5 years at reduced costs.
Perfect. Thank you very much on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Bradford Cooke, the CEO of Endeavour Silver, and you heard it, a sensational final sentence. Grow the company by 100% over the next 5 years. That's one of the it is the major target. Obviously, he also can imagine to pay some dividends in maybe 2-3 years. I think that's also very important to reward the shareholder, but also to bind shareholders with the company. But even more important, over the next 3 years, 3 mines go in addition into production. The mine life will rise overall, and the costs are going down significantly again. Great company. Check it out. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Munich.